today we're going to work on 6th grade math for week 1. As you can see, I colored my hair. That's how I deal with the quarantine situation. So anyway, we're going to start with page 785 of your packet. It's going to talk about some dot plots. The dot plot shows the recorded high temperatures for 6 days in Little Rock, Arkansas. Determine the mean temperature. Use the mean to summarize the center of distribution. Okay, so to find the mean, you have to take all the values of everything that's on here. So we have 245s, 147, 149, 150, and 152, if you look at your chart. So they added all of those, and they got 288. And then you count how many of those you had. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. So we're basically averaging the temperature for those 6 different temperatures. And the average was 48 degrees. Okay? So we're going to do the same thing for the next one, number 3. It's a dot plot showing the number of runs a baseball team had for each game of the 4-game series. Determine the mean number of runs for the series. Use the mean to summarize the center of distribution. Okay, so I have a dot on the number 1, I have a dot on the number 3, and I have 2 dots on the number 4. So I'm going to add 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. Okay. All right, and so my answer is 12. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on the dot plot. So it's going to be 12 divided by 4. If I use my multiplication chart, I can go down the 4 row, look for 12, and go up, and that's going to give me 3. The mean number of runs in the series is 3. The data are centered around 3 runs. Okay? So we're going to also do the same thing now for the got it problem on the bottom. We're going to do that one together. I've got number of books read. I have 1 dot on 1, 3 on 3, and 2 on 4. So I'm going to add 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. That's for every dot that's on there. Then I'm going to count the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to divide it by 6. Okay, if you need to pause, go ahead and pause. And then I'm going to let you guys do your answer on that one. Okay? All right, so now we're going to move on to page 786. Look at the top of the page. The number of minutes Mary Ann spent talking on her cell phone each month for the past 5 months were 494, 502, 486, 690, and 478. Suppose the mean for 6 months was 532 minutes. How many minutes did she talk on her cell phone during the 6th month? Okay. So if the mean is 532, the sum of the 6 pieces of data must be 532 times 6, or 3,192. Okay? So all they did is they added what we already had, plus, they took the average, or the mean, 532 times 6 to get the 6 months. They got 3,192. Then they had to subtract what they already had. So they added all the months that they had, the 5 months that they already had, subtracted that from the total for the 6 months, and they got their answer. So we're going to do the same thing on the next part. The dot plot shows the number of beads sold. Determine the mean number of beads. Use the mean to summarize the center of distribution. Okay, so this is just what we've already done. So we're going to start with, we have a dot on 5. We have 3 dots on 7, so it's going to be 5 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7. 2 dots on 8 plus 8 plus 8. And then I'm going to count how many pieces of data that I have. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have to divide by 6. And it will give me my answer. Okay. Just going to show you, and you can work that one out as well. Okay. Let's go to number 2. The table shows the area of various lakes in Texas rounded to the nearest tenth. If the average area is 45.97 square miles, what is the approximate area of Lake Palestine? This is the one that's a little trickier, a little harder, okay? So what we have to do is we have to take that average, that 45.97 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So kind of like the one we just did. So it's 45.97 times 6. Okay, so 7 times 6 is 42, carry my 4. 6 times 9 is 54, plus 4 is 58. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 5 is 35. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 3 is 27. And I have a decimal point. I need to move 2 spaces. So my total, or my average of all my totals, or I'm sorry, the combined total is 275 and 82. Okay? 275.82. All right, and that was just taking the 45.97 times 6. So what I have to do now is I'm going to add up what they gave me, which was 43.3. And I'm just going to do this next to my work. I'm going to have to make sure I line everything up with my button-down shirt. 43.3 plus 18.7 plus 70.3 plus 101.4 plus 2.2. So I'm going to add all of these, and those are all the different lake areas. See how I have them lined up? And if I'm not the neatest, I can use my graph paper. So I'm going to add real quick. I got 7 plus 3 is 10, plus 7 is 17, plus 2 is 19. I'm going to carry my 1. I got 8 plus 3 is 11, plus 1 is 12, plus 1 is 13, plus 2 is 15, carry a 1. I've got 7, 8, 9, plus 4 is 13, carry my 1. I've got 2, and then my decimal goes right here. So all I did was add all the areas of the lakes. Now I have to take the total that I got over here, which was 275 and 82 hundredths, and I'm going to subtract the 5 other lakes. 235.9. Okay. See how I'm taking this? This is my total for the 5, and then they told me this was my total for the 6 because I had to multiply by 6. So I'm going to subtract. I'm going to put a 0 for a placeholder. 2 minus 0 is 2. 8 minus 9 I can't do. I need to borrow. 18 minus 9 is 9. 4 minus 5 I can't do. I need to borrow. 14 minus 5 is 9. 6 minus 3 is 3. And 2 minus 2 is 0. So my approximate area of Lake Palestine is 39.92. Okay. And we're not going to work on number 3. We're going to leave that one alone. On the independent practice, you're going to be doing the same thing. On page 787, you will be working out number 1 and number 2 on your own. Those are both going to be finding the mean. You're going to add up all the values and divide by the number of values you were given. Number 3 is a financial literacy, but it's also the same thing. We're going to find the mean. Again, you're going to add all of her earnings and divide it by the number of earnings that she received. All right, and number 4 is a graphic novel frame. You are going to do, I'll do the cranes with you, and you can do the panthers, and then you're going to compare. So we're going to take the 6 different winds, and we're going to add them. We're going to add 38, 42, 31, 50, 31, and 48. We're going to add all of those. So that's 18, 19, 20. Carry my 2. That's 7. That's 9. That's 12, 17, 18, 19, 24. So for all the wins of the Cranes, where are we? Where am I? It was 240 total. But I need to divide that by 6. 6 will not fit into 2, but it'll fit into 24 4 times. I subtract, I bring down. 6 will not fit into 0. So my mean, I'm going to label it my Cranes mean score is 40. Okay. And if I'm going a little fast, that's fine. Just pause it. Get everything copied because you're going to be doing it now for the Panthers. So you're basically going to do the same thing that we just did for the Panthers. You're going to add up all of their wins, divide by 6, and that's going to give you their mean score. And then that answers part A. And then based on your answer for part A, is the mean a good measure for determining which team has the better record? That's going to be up to you to decide, okay? There's really no right or wrong on that one. All right, so we're going to go into the worksheet here. We'll do a few of these together, and then you'll do the rest. They're pretty easy. You're just finding the mean. So for the first one, number 1, we're going to add 3 plus 6 plus 2 plus 5. And all I did, look what I did. I put plus signs to make it easy. So 3 plus 6 is 9, plus 2 is 11, plus 5 is 16. And we're going to divide 16 by 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go down my 4 row, go up, and it's going to be 4. To find 16, go up, it'll be 4. All right, we're going to do number 3. Same thing, I'm just going to put my plus signs in between. I've got 9 plus 0 is 9, plus 4 is 13, plus 7 is 20. And we're going to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down my 4 row to 20, go up, it's going to be 5. All right, we're going to do number 5, and then the rest you should be able to do on your own. They're pretty easy. 9 plus 5 is 14 divided by 2. Go down my 2 row, look for 14, go up, it's going to be 7. All right, so those are pretty easy. Make sure you're putting your name on every page. You're going to do the same thing for this sheet, but it is much longer. You're probably going to need another piece of paper to add up all your values. Now we're going to go into averages word problems, and I will do at least one of these with you, and we'll see if I need to do any more for clarification. All right, Clayton plays basketball on a team. He has played 3 games so far. In the first game, he scored 10 points. In the second game, he scored 14 points. In the third game, he scored 6 points. What is Clayton's average points per game? Remember, mean and average mean the same thing, okay? So the first game, he scored 10. I'm going to circle my 10, 14 for the second, and 6. So I'm going to add 10, 14, and 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry my 1, 1, 2, and 3. 30 divided by, there's 3 scores, that's 10. Okay, that was pretty darn easy, right? So when you do circle or underline your questions, circle your important numbers, average them, or I'm sorry, add them all up, and then divide to get the average. Okay, I'll read the following questions to you just in case there's anything you don't understand, and then you can work those out because they're pretty straightforward. Mandy earns money by delivering groceries. She earned $4 on Monday, $7 on Tuesday, $5 on Wednesday, $4 on Thursday, and $5 on Friday. That's 5 days. What is the average amount of money Mandy earned per day? I'm going to underline my question, circle my numbers that I need to use, and then you know what to do with the rest. I underlined my question. I circled my numbers that I need to add to do the average. Okay. Next one is Jean loves to go bird watching. One day she saw 7 birds. The next day she saw 11. The next day she saw no birds. Remember, what is no? What is nothing? If you don't see anything, 0. What is the average number of birds Jean saw each day? So I'm going to underline my question. I'm going to circle the no so that I know I have to do something with it. And I'm going to circle my numbers because I can't just leave it. If I leave it out completely, it's going to mess it up. Okay? I have to, in fact, I'm going to do this one with you. I underlined the question. I circled my important numbers. I am going to do this one with you because I don't want this one to get messed up. So we're going to do 7 plus 11 plus 0. 7 plus 1 is 8. 1, 18. Now I have 3 different values from 3 different days, so I have to divide 18 by 3. 3 will not fit into 0, but it will fit into 18, and it will fit in 6 times. So my answer is 6. But do you see how we couldn't just leave the 0 out? We had to use it or it would mess up the average. Because if we took 18 divided by 2 and just left out the 0, our answer would be 9. That means she saw 9 birds on 2 days, and that's not true. Okay, last one. Haley read 5 books in January, 8 books in February, 4 books in March, and 7 books in April. What is the average number of books Harley read per month? All right, so that gets you through that page. Pretty easy. Oh, I missed a page. All right, well, I didn't have page 784, but that's okay because we figured it out. Okay. All right. So the questions here are statistical questions. So this one's pretty easy as well. You're just going to answer whether it's a statistical question or not. And if you need to see a video, you want to go to Math Antics videos, look up statistics to see what the definition is for that. And then you're going to just answer yes or no. And when you answer yes or no, you get to color part of the little girl here. Okay? So if that's basically it. That one's pretty easy as well. This is kind of a fun one. So that takes care of your 6th grade lesson for week 1. And hope to see you back next week. Bye.